Should we have the discussion about how the WNBA doesn't make money?
I mean, it's pretty much known at this point, but I guess the conversation now is I believe it was the LA Sparks. They're going to have a new facility built, practice facility. And I cannot remember the ticket on it, but it was a lot.
But we have to be honest about, you're still talking about a league that's very young.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there was a time where the NBA, outside of a few teams, wasn't making money. There was a time not that long ago where the NFL, we see it now. It really has replaced, I know we spoke a little bit about baseball in the beginning, but the NFL is America's pastime if you want to talk about sports.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't like that at one point. You got to realize there was a time when, the numbers were still printed on the jerseys,
yeah.
And the NBA didn't start flying private until the late 80s.
So I said that the reason why I said should we talk about it is because you're right, Jay, that all those things are true about the NBA. It takes time, and that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Like they'll make money, they'll get there, but I guess I don't always understand. I guess I don't understand, and maybe I literally am missing a piece of it. Of the we deserve more, but there's literally nothing to give.
WNBA I know we
the
call
NBA
it
subsidizes the WNBA every year.
But like, if you think about it, they've been around since the mid-90s. Because I remember watching episodes of Martin. Remember when he was playing, I think Sheryl Swoops and
USA,
somebody else.
Rebecca Lobo.
Women's national team. Yep.
And Dawn Staley was on that episode.
That was that's like 95, 96.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been around a long time. As far as turning a profit, that's a different story. But
the money talk is always what comes up, right?
It's always what comes up, and I understand them wanting more, and it's a little bit different now because these players are making more in college than they are when they get to the league there. So it's like we need something to compensate for that.
I'm just saying, like, how can you take more from nothing, man?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
But I see that, but I also see how there are people falling over themselves to invest in this league because they know where it's going.
Yeah.
And again, I just want to be really clear. I'm not putting the WNBA down. I know I understand the way business works and that everything is a process. Then they will get there. When I hear all the talk about we're not getting this and we're not getting that and we're not getting this, like, that's just kind of what comes with the territory when you're growing your league.
At the end of the day, the question
and
is,
honestly, a lot of players, the NBA players back in the 70s and 80s or whatever, like, there was no like crazy endorsement money and things like that. Those dudes had worked jobs.
Yeah.
They worked jobs.
There were guys on NFL Super Bowl winning teams who had to sell insurance in the offseason.
They also just want to, they don't want to get paid as much as NBA players. They just want the same equitable amount percentage-wise based upon what the leagues, what they generate. But even more
but what if you
specifically
generate negative 10 million?
That's part of it, in the same way that, like, any major university, the basketball program pays for every other program, So I think
the swimmers don't complain about getting more. That's what I'm saying.
But they also don't get paid.
You know
what I mean? So
swimmers can get, in the NIL wise, they can get paid.
They also,
yeah, but I mean, historically,
they still get scholarship money from the university.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that is based on the fact that, Ohio State can, put 100,000 people into its stadium on Saturday afternoon.
I just don't think it's a apples to apples argument necessarily.
No, and I understand where they're coming from. Sometimes there's some players that it's like, hey, you need to chill. You barely in the WNBA. But I do understand also where people say, look, we can only you understand everything is a television product. Remember when during the pandemic when the NFL couldn't have people in the stands, they were playing in empty stadiums?
Yep.
They were able to do that because it's a television product. Right now, they're still working on the WNBA being a television product. That's where the money's going to come into play, the international rights. That's where the NBA, when you see like people who are damn near should be on the bench, depending on how old they are and what they actually contribute to a team, and they're signing contract where they're making $25-30 million, that's because the NBA is a global game. Right now, the WNBA in most places, women's basketball is bigger overseas, and that's why a lot of these players go to Russia. That's why they go to Greece or Italy, because they can make more money over there.
I'm just saying patience, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to come. It will definitely come, and like, it's just going to get better. Like, Juju's coming soon. If you guys have seen her play, she's unreal.
She's out for this season. Too.
Yeah.
She got hurt. Like, she's still coming. Like,
again,
she's incredible. Like, the product is going to get better, and like, you know, I think it's fun to watch and stuff. It's just I hear a lot of the, like, I don't know, and that's why I'm saying I might be missing a piece of it too. Like, maybe there's like what I've always heard is we want a bigger share, or we want a bigger cut, a similar cut, proportionally speaking, as the NBA players get.
Yeah.
Right. But there's nothing there. So you're asking essentially at that point, aren't you essentially asking the NBA to pay you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that is what they're asking. I mean, like, let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's who they're asking, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but at the same time, like, you know, I would be curious to know what the percentage rates are for everybody within the organizations, because to me, it wasn't necessarily a one-on-one comparison for NBA players and the executives or owner class. It was, the proportions were not the same in the owner class or the executives in the WNBA versus the players.
I see. Okay.
That was my interpretation.
I was just looking at it black and white, and I'm not a black and white person, but in this, like, business, like money, I saw that the WNBA lost $10 to $12 million last year, and it was one of their best years, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. So when I see people saying we want more of the piece of the pie, but the pie isn't there, But then as we were talking through this, it started making more sense. The NBA does pay for essentially the WNBA, so what they're asking for is more money from the
Based
NBA.
upon what they're doing,
similar proportions based on how the NBA.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
All right.
You know?
I wasn't trying to put them down. I think it's definitely coming. The league's growing. I used to not really watch women's basketball, but I certainly have watched more of it over the last few years. And it's not just Caitlin Clark, like all the other players that you guys mentioned. And
I think college ball.
I think Paige is fire. Paige is my favorite.
And Caitlin's
player.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think she's taken all this stuff in stride when everybody's like racialized and done all this stuff with her. And it's just, she's just plays ball. I respect that. You know what I mean? She doesn't get into all that. You know, Angel's fun. You know, she's like a double machine. You know, and she hasn't taken as much bait either. She gets a lot of shit.
Yeah,
you know, and
does.
I wouldn't be able to take it. I don't think I would. You know what I mean? And she's strong. She's awesome.
She can play ball, man.
Yeah, she
play
can.
ball.
She's probably not going to be in Chicago next year.
Hell no.
I
But
doubt it.
I'm psyched for Juju to come. Like I've watched her actually. I've watched a number of her USC games. And
Yeah, she's
she
exciting to play, man. I hate that she's not going to be in it this season.
Well,
at
she's
all.
not going to play at all this year.
No,
she
it's a
like
wrap.
it wasn't.
I know
She tore
her knee
ACL.
up. Yeah, but I thought maybe she might make it back for
think
like
that's
the
smart.
tournament.
I think
or
they
something.
announced it maybe yesterday or the day before, saying that she actually said it herself that she's going to be out this
So
season.
will she? This would be her junior year, right? So is she ready? She's
Yeah.
coming out after this
I
season.
think that's why she's sitting out. She's trying to get healthy to just go straight to the league.
I mean, she's a 6'2", which is tall in the WNBA. Basically, guard skills, like bringing the ball up the court,
But
handling
again,
the ball.
it goes to what we're talking about as far as being paid. She probably makes more being in USC.
I guarantee she does.
Sitting out this season than she would make in the WNBA.
She's still getting that marketing bread.
It's just
yeah.
crazy that, you know, because it used to be a thing where basically you female basketball players played there all 4 years. There was no coming out early.
It's true.
You know, and quite honestly, I mean, if I were Caitlin Clark, I would have stayed in Iowa. She was getting paid up there, but she's getting paid in the WNBA too. You know, it's just a crazy transition because it's okay. The NCAA tournament ends, and then like I think it's maybe a month, and then the draft.
No, it's like the next week.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
No, yeah. So and then and then they start preseason and training camp. So it's like you don't even get to like take a breath.
It's a shorter season. I think they play 40-some games.
Yeah, it is shorter than the NBA as well.
Yeah, in their first round in the playoffs is 3 out of 5. Then no, I think it's
1 out.
no,
it's 3 out of 5.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Then 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Yeah.
And then, you know, but I mean, you know, like I said, people forget it wasn't that long ago where the first round of the NBA finals was best 3 out of 5.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I enjoy the game. I love seeing the fact that, you know, I always want to call it Conseco, or I sometimes call it Market Square Arena. I didn't live here when Market Square Arena was over, but I saw a packed house, you know, for the Fever game, you know, knowing that we have all these starters out, including Caitlin, you know, so that was dope to see.
Been balling.
Yeah, so it was good to see the support is still there, and like people here in Indianapolis rather, didn't just say, well, Caitlin's not going to be there, I'm not going. Like people are still there to support
That's
the team.
good.
And that's got to be what it is across the league if they really want to grow the situation.
Oh yeah, they're getting a new stadium where the old jail was at.
Oh,
that's right.
They
for
already
real?
broke ground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep.
They gotta have some type of money coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start breaking ground, some
They
bread.
said what the
somewhere.
old jail was at.
Or maybe,
for real.
maybe the NBA is investing more into them by doing, you know what I mean?
But it's going to be a whole
yeah.
basketball complex downtown.
But you know, and they're going to use it for other stuff too.
Yeah.
That's one of the
pretty
things
sweet.
about Indianapolis, Indiana is this is a hub for a lot of things that go on in the country, like just based downtown, based on the how unique is set up and how some places you can be in and you don't have to even go outside, things like that.
That's how the Super Bowl was supposed to be set up, but we wound up having really good weather that week.
Yeah. But,
That was a
I'll
miracle.
never forget that.
55,
what were the
56
odds?
degrees in February.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
they'll probably use it for some smaller like concerts and things like that.
Yeah.
Where
Which
they
is
won't
still-
have to use Game Bridge. Yeah,
But you're still bringing that bread in.
absolutely.
No, that's cool, man. No, I think, again, hope the and it's going to continue to go well. I was just trying to understand the business.
No, for sure. Let's go.
The NBA owns approximately 60% of the WNBA.
Okay.
Majority
So they have
share.
a vested interest in seeing this do well. That's
Yeah,
the
right.
thing. Okay.
And that's why
So I wonder
they
what the other
continue
40
to.
is.
That's why they continue with it, because a $20 million loss to the WNBA is nothing to the NBA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like they're still in green.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the WNBA is in the red. But
Oh, I have no
know.
problem with them lose. A lot of businesses lose money for a long time. You know what I mean? I don't have. What I was getting at was we want more.
The demand. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I get
But
it.
I understand.
totally
I
get it.
understand it more
Yeah.
now. But
All right, man. Let's go ahead and jump into
This is
our-
women's sports segment by five guys.
Yeah. One of
Not
whom
Burgers.
clearly doesn't know shit. So yeah.
I don't think we offended any women's sports
no, that was
people
light.
on that one. That was
That was
real
very
light.
light.
And,
Check
and
one,
we
check
actually
two,
fans
check
of the Fever
one,
if we keeping
check
it a
two.
buck. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's no hate here.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be somebody that sees it as hate.
Oh yeah,